Oh, okay. So let's raise our hand. What do we think sensory details are? Bella.
Sensory details like the body, I don't know.
Well, okay, so you have the sensory part, right? But what details? What do details do?
Kind of explains it.
Okay, so maybe there are words that explain our senses, right? So who can think of a word that would be a sensory detail, or thinks they know a word that would be a sensory detail? Ion.
Look.
So you look. So let's get into the sight words, right? Eyes. What do you see with your eyes? Nina.
Apples.
Apples. Think about a person's details. So if you're looking at Christopher, what might you say about Christopher?
That I'm handsome? He has
Maybe.
a nose. He has a nose.
He has a nose, but describe him. What are his details?
Think about the character traits. You guys know that.
Inner traits.
Her
Outer
eyebrows.
traits.
My back is a tat.
What else? Lexi.
Why did this have to be? Kind of confused with the question. What was the question again?
You
The
love it.
question was, if we look at Christopher, right, what are some sensory details we could use to describe him? How's his?
He has dark hair. He's brown hair?
He has brown hair, dark hair.
Oh, wow.
Does he look very nervous or does he look cool?
Nervous.
You think he looks nervous? I think he looks cool.
I think he's nervous right now. Yeah.
I don't think he's nervous. So let's change to sound, right? Let's think of some sensory words for sound.
He sounds quiet.
Sensory details are to help you better when you're writing, right? It's to help you describe a little bit more. So think of that when you're answering the question. Marco,
Give me high
you
five.
hear people talking. What specifically about the sounds, though?
Give me that high five.
Let's see.
The squeak of a mouse.
Squeak. Great job. Nina.
Whispering.
Whispering. Great job. Ayan.
Bang.
So that would be an onomatopoeia, right?
Maybe screaming.
Screaming. Excellent. Are we starting to see a little bit more what sensory details are?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can revisit that if you're still a little uncomfortable with that, but for now we're going to move on, okay? So as you already know, I'm going to be with you, right, for some time. I'll be with you until May. So today we're going to do somewhat of a fun activity, but I still would like, don't goof off. I want you to take it seriously. But it's just something to help me get to know you better, okay? So that when we're working together, I know what you like, and you'll even get to learn what I like, okay? So today we're going to be making our own bio poems. Who's heard of a poem before? Everyone, right? Most of us, maybe you wrote your own poem, or maybe you've just read poetry, right? Does any of you enjoy reading poetry? Jenna?
Move away from Chris. He's getting way too much attention back there. Chris.
You like
Stay with
reading
me.
poetry?
By Shel Silverstein.
Okay, I've read that also. Christopher, you just like reading poetry. Lexi?
I like when we do poetry in school. I like reading other people's poetry.
Okay,
Like I'll enjoy reading Bella's.
okay. So you've all written your own poetry.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked on a bio poem? Do we know what a bio poem is? Think of the words bio poem. Go ahead, Dylan.
It's like a biography. So you're kind of talking about yourself.
Oh, very good. You're talking about yourself. Keep going with that. Do you think we can only talk about ourselves? Go ahead, Ross.
We can talk about other people.
We can talk about other people. What kind of people? We could talk about people. Are we going to talk about maybe Mrs. Rose? We could, right? If we know her well enough, because a biography, what, tells us? It tells us about somebody else. Right, very good. So you can write a bio poem about maybe a character that you've read in a book. You can write a bio poem about maybe a historical figure. Right? You can really a bio poem about anybody, but today we're going to write one about ourselves, okay? So a bio poem tells us about an individual, about a person, okay? So what we are going to do first today is you are going to get a bio poem planning sheet, okay? I'm going to hand it out to you first, and then we'll go over what I expect you to do with this, okay? Leah, could you send that to your side of the class, please? And of course, you should be writing your names on all of the sheets that you get. And while we're waiting for everyone to get one, I'm going to come around and collect those pre-assessments. So make sure your names are on the pre-assessment. If one person from each table could collect the pre-assessments, so when it come around, they're all ready.
Do you know where it is?
It's on the internet. It's like one of the tabs. It should be the
that's
very
where it
last
is.
one.
Chrome maybe?
Oh, he needs a planning sheet.
Oh, there's one on the floor, Rhea.
We need extra here.
Martha. Who else needed one? You have it? Okay, what's in process? Everybody, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Does everybody have a planning sheet? Okay. So if you see on the board, I have one also. Let me grab a marker. Do you have that? Mrs. Levine, do you have it?
Yeah, they're right.
No.
Orange one.
So I'm going to take you through this, and I'm going to make one of my own so that you can see what is expected of you, or just to show you what it is that you're going to be doing. So you'll see in the first box, it says adjectives that describe you, okay? So if I were filling this out, 3 adjectives that describe myself would be caring, right? I care about other people's feelings, generous, right? I like helping other people. I like giving people things. And I would say that I'm pretty goofy. Sometimes I'm silly. Okay? So as simple as that. Lover of. So things that I love. I love my dog. Right? I love my family. And I love pizza. Right? So it doesn't, when you fill out the lover of, you do not have to put people. You can maybe put a sport that you like, a food that you like, a color that you like, okay? Whatever you love can go in that box. Who feels? Sometimes I feel scared. Most times I'm very happy. And today I feel tired. Okay, so do we get the idea? Do we understand what it is that we're doing?
Yes.
Okay, do you need me to finish filling in the rest of this for you, or do we, show me a thumbs up if you think you can do this. Does anybody not understand what I would like for you to do? It's okay if you don't, we can finish filling in the rest. Okay, so what aren't you understanding?
Like, who wonders and who feels?
Who wonders? Okay, what do you wonder about? I wonder if aliens really exist. Okay? I wonder if there's life on other planets.
Okay.
Things like that. Okay? What was the other one?
Who fears?
Who fears? What are you afraid of? I'm afraid of spiders. I fear needles. Okay? Whatever you're afraid of. We can just talk through the rest. Who would like to? What is something you would like to do? I would like to travel to other countries. Okay? Who's able to? What is something you're good at? What can you do? And then who dreams? What's something you dream of? Maybe I dream that I hit the lottery one day. Okay? All right, so I'm going to read you my own that I wrote. Okay? To give you an idea of what it should it shouldn't sound like mine because you might have different words, but in terms of the beginning of the sentence. Okay? So, Miss Misseri, caring, cheerful, determined, lover of pizza, funny movies, and her dog Onyx, who feels happy when she is at the beach, who wonders if aliens really exist, who fears spiders and snakes, who would like to win the lottery, who is able to inspire her students, and who dreams that all of her students will love to read. Okay? We got it?
Yeah.
Okay. After you complete your poem, up here on the table, you'll see this little head type thing. So this is going to be your self-portrait, okay? So after you finish your poem and add some clip art and make it fun, right? We want it to be creative, right? So change the font color a little bit, but I suggest that maybe we shouldn't make it yellow, right? So dark colors that we can see, right? If it's like orange or yellow, do you think I'm gonna be able to read it? No, okay? So be creative when you make your poem, and then when that's all done and you have some pictures on there, you can work on your self-portrait, okay? Does anybody have any questions about anything we just did? Or went over, or any of the directions, anything?
Miracle.